Dirty Ice, Stealth, Overkill Difficulty Guide. And now we are in a jewelry store of Ashton Fine, which is they're gonna be a lot different type of a jewelry store compared to the ones like in Jewelry Store or Diamond Store from Payday 2. And I'm just gonna show you the security modifiers, what we had to deal with, which is literally the same from No West for the Wicked. And of course, I'll go over everything what you will have and what you start off. Now, of course, the first thing is that you actually spawn in 3 different locations when you spawn in. You can either spawn in front of the jewelry store, excuse me, or either left or the right side of the store of the alleyway. So if you go to the left side, you will probably notice a truck, and of course, if you go towards the right side when you spawn in, you'll actually be located where the van is for you to secure the loot in stealth. So, of course, the first thing I like to, if I go in one of these sides, is to, lockpick this gate. And in this alleyway, there's going to be the lead guard. He will always spawn here. And, of course, the only time you actually go inside the actual jewelry store building is when you actually open up the VIP room. So, of course, I do my loop the cameras. The 2 cameras I like to loop are the VIP room and the hallway, the very tight corridor hallway in the back of the showroom. So, of course, the first thing I do here is finding a phone, which, of course, to get the QR code. Now, of course, on Overkill, they actually have additional guard right here, just located in the alleyway. Now, sometimes the lead guard or the other guard patrolling around the alleyway, like the very back alleyway, and inside the building, will have a blue key card. And there's going to be a guard in the basement that has a red key card, which I'll explain what the red key card does. Of course, the blue ones is always going to be the security cameras. So here, of course, got inside the manager's office. And, of course, that's when I look, of course, in this room, there's always going to be a phone. Now, sorry, a little blurry there, I didn't got a good moment. But to get the basement code, there's actually 3 ways to get the code. There's one, of course, with the Wi-Fi password in the lunchroom on the whiteboard, or the number of the employee of the month number, and also the code on a document paper in the VIP room, and the computer will tell you where to go for you to enter those codes in the basement. Now, in the bathroom, there always going to be a guaranteed a phone, so that way you can get a QR code. So there's a code right there on that billboard. Now, of course, unfortunately, I was trying to rush here so I don't get spotted. I entered the code wrong here. It's supposed to be 9622. Unfortunately, I did have to wait it out, and unfortunately got spotted.
You're not allowed in here.
And I tried to, wait for the timer to reset for the code. Didn't have enough time.
Come on, I'll show you out. Come on, follow me. Let's keep it civil.
Of course, I gotta get spotted by a camera after I do the radio hack this guard. And then I could finally enter the code right. And this is another thing you should do, which I see a lot of people do, and honestly, it hurts me. It makes me cringe too. Is that if you're unmasked and get spotted by a camera in a private area, what happens is that a nearby guard will actually investigate on the last where the camera spot you. So you want to let the guard see you, so that way he could escort you out. Because if the guards try to investigate where you are, your last known position, but you're not there, he will actually report in for a search. And you really want the search to be your last resort, the last ditch in the end. So I try to
You
avoid
can't
that.
be in here. This area is restricted. You heard me the first time. Let's go.
And just pretty much follow what he does, pretty much. So just a reminder, if you get spotted by camera in case mode in private areas, just let a nearby guard spot you and he will escort you out and prevent you from activate a search mode early on, because that's the last thing you really want.
All right, run along now. And don't trespass again.
And of course, I'm now gonna wait to. And I do apologize for. Well, I got invite, but that's unfortunate. Fortunately, caught me in a very bad time here. Thankfully, though, I was in a pub area and not a private area, so I gotta hack this way to get through. And just to show you that even though I did enter the code right, the door is still locked. So just because I entered the code for the first time, that means the other door that you have a keypad locked door won't be open. So just to keep you check. So the purpose to be in the basement is, well, to actually shut off the power towards the display cases in the back room, because if you try to lockpick the display cases in the VIP room, it will trigger the alarm immediately. Now here, I would actually want to do a camera loop, but I decided not to because I already have 2 good camera loops on the cameras that are that are really, a really annoying spot to get spotted. And the safe here just contains the documents that you could able to blackmail the manager, which depends on the difficulty. You actually have less time to be able to get the manager to be in the back room if you, of course, don't have any assets for distracted manager. And on Overkill difficulty, at least, once you enter the store, like the showroom, or at least behind the building, excuse me, had a nice supper there. But yeah, you only have 3 minutes to get the manager, and I'm still gonna close the door. Now, of course, there's a time I mask on and basically clear out the corridor. There's always gonna be at least 2 guards roaming this area, and usually 2 civilian, or mainly 1 civilian, which are usually the employees. And of course, I like to store them in the bathroom. Okay, another thing I'm gonna another advice: try not to put hostages or civilians in corners when it comes to like blocked by certain objects, like either a bathtub or a toilet, because you can't use a human shield because you have not enough room to perform this action, and you could basically soft lock your stealth run, and of course you had to do a hard restart. So this is why I just throw him in there anyway. Just throw him in the center, that way you can actually take a human shield, because hostages are now much more important in stealth. So just to keep that in mind.
Guard over there.
And of course I close the door since I don't need to worry about that.
You okay over there? Everything's all right here, buddy. Just peachy, if you ask me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sounds good.
And always make sure you close the door, and somehow I was magically inside a bathroom. But yeah, just make sure you always close that door when you have hostages or civilians or corpses, because they will patrol the manager's office, and if they see that door open with civilian in it, they will investigate. So just be careful. Now, as a solo player, you can actually use a employee to press this button here, as long as you have the red key card, which I use it here to open up this vault door, which contains a rare stone, which of course in this sector you need to secure the loot, which mainly is jewelry. So of course, if you secure jewelry that's not been cleaned out, your percentage is very low, but you still of course require total at least in this mission at least 6 bags of jewelry, which is quite challenging enough for, for solo. So here's the other guard I took out. So the only thing I have to worry about is the lead guard.
You believe in
But
aliens?
since I have the microcam on him, I can always keep track of him. Where where the motion sensor does work pretty well with this as well. But the issue with Dirty Ice though is that the lead guard will come inside the VIP room and he will walk out through that door leading towards the showroom. And of course, the sensor civilians nearby, it will highlight and they will count as, being marked by the sensor. Once that 15 sensors are up, the motion sensor is now useless. So this is why I prefer the microcam over the motion sensor. I mean, don't get me wrong, the motion sensor is really good. But it's only best if you play on heists that doesn't have much crowd involved. Such as 99 boxes, or even the case of Touch the Sky. But heist with just less civilians involved, which the motion sensor will work pretty well. And there's actually a trick to actually able to kill the lead guard while still answer his pager, but never trigger its endless wave of radio response. So since the lead guard's not in the building, I can actually able to grab this hostage here that's pretty much next to the van and basically hide her behind this large dumpster or trash bin and just tie her down. No one will actually see it. So I literally had the back of the alleyway and of course the corridors of the jewelry store full control until the lead guard comes inside, but he's very easy to avoid. Now I'm just going to go for all the jewelry. Now, if you, of course, once you secure the rare stone, that's a 40% value, so it definitely going to boost up your progress. And of course, you can't clean this loot out because it's not jewelry, so you can just secure it in a van. And that's pretty much it about the Dirty Ice. Yeah, I never really went inside the showroom once at all. Now, if you really want to go for all the loot, at least for all clean jewelry, I'll probably do a trophy guide on that for you to clean all the loot, at least clean all the jewelry, and secure it on Overkill difficulty. But of course, that will be for another time. So yeah, he does come here, and then of course he just walks out there. And he does go inside the cafe area, or the little lunchroom, and then he walked back to the hallway. So his patterns is really predictable, and he's the lead guard in this heist is actually the least threatening out of all the others. Oh, and I gotta say, the stealth music for Dirty Ice, oh my god, it's such a banger. And it probably even helps that this is where, well, being the contractor here was for the Butcher, which is a fan favorite contractor from Payday 2. Seriously, I love any stealth heist that involves with the Butcher, like the Bomb Dockyard, Scarface Mansion. Holy shit, I was really hoping we get more heists with her in Payday 2, which is damn shame. But I'm so glad she returned in Payday 3, and I have to say, the voice actor, the new voice actor for the Butcher, she nailed it as the old one, because unfortunately, the voice actor for the Butcher in Payday 2 sadly passed away a few years ago. Really, really shame. I mean, she played pretty well. But hopefully we get to see more of her contracts with her soon, especially if the game, you know, at least get some updates and improvements. And of course, that marks the end of, well, finally beating Dirty Ice. So thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time, when I do Rock the Cradle. Until then, farewell, and have a wonderful day, everyone.